WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
6 a.m. Grab your coffee and smell the football. It's the Way Too Early pregame show with your host, Jimmy Cook.
Good morning, Indianapolis, and welcome to the Way Too Early pregame show. I am your host, your master of ceremonies, your guide to the first voices that you hear. Covering Colts football here on The Fan, I am Jimmy Cook. Give me a follow on Twitter at @TheJCook. Behind the ones and twos, the outstanding, the impeccable Eddie Garrison. Give him a follow on Twitter at @EddieGarrison_.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, and good morning to Colts Nation. Appreciate you taking some time with us on the Way Too Early pregame show, fresh off a holiday weekend, and more importantly, fresh off the best performance that the Indianapolis Colts have put together all season long. Now, I will admit, and I will eat crow a little bit, in that I did pick against the Colts a week ago. I picked the Buffalo Bills. I felt like their offense was going to be back to where it had been early stages of the season, back where it had been a year ago, and that the Colts would not be able to keep up. However, I did tell you that if the Colts were going to be victorious a week ago, it was going to take a Derrick Henry-like performance from one Jonathan Taylor. Not only did Taylor deliver that, I would argue he was better. And that's saying something, because Derrick Henry is getting forgotten about a little bit because of the way Jonathan Taylor is playing. I still believe Derrick Henry is, pound for pound, the best running back in the National Football League. That being said, that gap between those two running backs, I don't mean from a stat standpoint, I just mean from the way Jonathan Taylor has looked and remembering what Derrick Henry looked like, that gap is much closer than it was before the injury to Derrick Henry. Do I think that you're suddenly going to see people stacking the box necessarily on Jonathan Taylor? That's coming. That is. That's one argument that Titans fans have, is that, well, Jonathan Taylor is not seeing the same type of coverage or focus that Derrick Henry does. And that's fair, but also Derrick Henry's done that over the course of 3 or 4 years to earn that. Jonathan Taylor's knocking on that door. And that is where, and it kind of gets into our keys today, that is where Carson Wentz comes into play. I'm not saying today has to be the day. And I know that a week ago, Carson's numbers probably don't reflect his full body of work on the season because he wasn't needed, right? You didn't need Carson Wentz to have a stellar day a week ago. And the main reason for that was because how well Taylor played. You don't need Wentz to carry a load that Jonathan Taylor's already put on his back, right? You don't need that. Taylor was the savior of a week ago. I mean, maybe savior's not even the right word. Taylor was the do-it-all guy a week ago. You didn't need big things from Carson Wentz. At some point you will, though. I have followed teams and I've rooted for teams where their offense has been built around, by and large, an all-star running back. An all-pro running back, if you will. That's not to discredit the other weapons on this Colts offense. I think Michael Pittman Jr. is having tremendous strides here in his second campaign. That can't be ignored, particularly on third down. He's still, I believe, Eddie, if you don't know this off the top of your head, that's fine, but he's still the most efficient wide receiver and one of the most efficient wide receivers on third down in the league.
Correct.
And I know it's cliche, but that's your most important down, particularly when you don't know if Frank Reich is going to roll the dice, go for it on fourth down, or if he's going to send out the punting unit. That's a whole other conversation. I tend to be more on, if you're past midfield, situationally be damned. If you're past midfield in modern football, the numbers are almost always going to back you up going for it. And I know there's situations where maybe you're like, I'm going to punt the ball. Sure, if your defense is playing lights out, that's fine. But for the most part, just to clear the air where I'm at with that, I say go for it. I'm fine with it. As long as you're past midfield and you feel like you need to go for it, if it's 4th and 3, 4th and 4, that's fine. Anything else? Maybe think about it. Maybe think about punting the ball. But if it's manageable, by all means, use all the downs you have. But if that's not happening and your philosophy is, hey, let's punt the ball, Michael Pittman Jr. has been your go-to guy. So again, I want to clear the air with that and say that I'm not disrespecting him or T.Y. or Jack Doyle. That's not my goal. But the truth of the matter is, you're living and dying by an elite level running back. That is your game plan moving forward. That should be your game plan moving forward. But if you want to get past that and you want to get to your next level, you need something else to balance it out offensively. And that's where Carson Wentz comes into play. Now, the Buccaneers aren't fully healthy just yet. They are still working things out. They'll be without their left tackle today. They will also be without Antonio Brown. That's from an offensive standpoint. And those are two weapons that, well, left tackle, not as much necessarily a weapon, but you've seen how tough it is to roll with backup left tackles or backup offensive linemen here in Indianapolis. So that's not something that you're unfamiliar with as Colts fans. And that's not something that Buccaneers fans should be like, we're going to be fine. It's not a big deal. Vita Vea, last I saw, was questionable. I don't know if that's officially been ruled just yet by Adam Schefter and the like, but the last injury report led him as a limited participant throughout the week, and he's questionable for today's game against the Colts. That's massive for Tampa Bay if he plays. Vita Vea is a game wrecker. Do I think that's going to necessarily change how this game goes? No. But I'd rather not see a healthy Buccaneers defense. Because this defense, particularly up front, was one of the best in football a year ago, and particularly on their run to the Super Bowl. So the less amount of high-quality defenders for Tampa Bay I see out there, the better. But that leads me to my larger point, which is that, and please interact in the YouTube chat with this, those of you that are joining us. By the way, thank you for joining us. And if you'd like to interact with other Colts fans, go to youtube.com, search the Way Too Early pregame show. Should be the one that says live right on there. And you can interact with fellow Colts fans. But my question to you all is this, and that is, for the Colts side of things, where do you want to see this team go? Where are your expectations right now? Is it playoffs? Because right now that's reasonable. That might have been crazy fan aspirations 3 weeks ago. But right now it is a feasible possibility. According to the New York Times and 538, the Colts' chances of making the postseason, if they win today, goes up to about 98%. Now, you still need to do your job in the rest of the schedule. We told you this a week ago when there were 7 games left, that you needed 4 wins over the 7, and that would give you about 50% chance, maybe a little better, of getting in. You get 5, you're almost certainly locked in. And the Colts already have added themselves a positive notch in the AFC column with that win against Buffalo. Those AFC wins are critical. That is why today is not a must-win game. But boy, would it help. It would ease some pain and some stress, I'm sure, on a lot of Colts fans and Colts families about making the playoffs. So if that's your end objective and that's your end goal, then maybe this next question isn't as big of a concern to you because you're just happy you're going to get in. But if your goal is to do more than that, if your goal is to see this club win a playoff game and move on to what would likely be, at that point, the divisional round. It would be the divisional round. If that's your goal, is to see them move a step further than they did a year ago, you're going to need more from Carson Wentz. I'm not a Carson Wentz denier. I'm not a Carson Wentz hater. I like the guy. I want to see this redemption story work. But if it's going to fit at some point, and you know it's coming, because it is, that's just the way the NFL works. At some point, Jonathan Taylor's going to be limited. I don't mean by injuries. I just mean he's going to be limited offensively. Defenses are going to start game planning around him. And the only way to open things up to a point that he's able to get back into it is for teams to respect your passing game. Carson has had plenty of flashes for defenses to respect the passing game. Don't get me confused here. But you can't have concern or confidence on the defensive side that says we're gonna roll the dice and let you beat us. John Taylor's not beating us. At some point, that's going to happen. Whether it happens in the wild card if the Colts get there, or whether it happens along the way against New England, that's your first guess where it might happen. The Buccaneers don't do it. What's Bill Belichick arguably most famous for outside of the Super Bowls and the development of Tom Brady? Eddie? What is Bill?
TB12?
Not quite. I think Tom has that one.
Sorry, I only heard Tom Brady.
I'll reiterate. It's all good. What is Bill Belichick most? You're very, very busy helping guide this show, and we greatly appreciate that. I'm sorry for springing it on you like that. What is Bill Belichick probably most known for outside of developing Tom Brady and all the Super Bowls?
We're on to Cincinnati.
That too. You're probably right. So maybe this is fourth.
I don't know what.
Taking away the other team's best option.
That's
taking
true.
away their biggest weapon.
Factual.
Jonathan Taylor is going to get taken away. I'm not saying he can't still do well, but he's going to be limited. And that is where I need to see more from Carson Wentz.
And he can do it against his secondary that's not good.
Sure. There's a great opportunity today. I want what I think all Colts fans want, and it's probably not possible because I don't know if Carson has it in him. I want a little bit worse than 2017 Carson Wentz. And I don't know if it's possible to get back there. But that's dream scenario, right? I think that's what everybody wants that roots for this team. Again, and I don't. To clarify that, we've made that very clear. I don't root for this team. I don't root against them. They're just not. I didn't grow up a Colts fan. I grew up a fan of the Chiefs. I told you that many times, which is why I'm telling you I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about relying on top-tier running backs as your primary offensive weapon. It only works if you're able to pull the defense away from it. If they're just able to key on it, you'll get bounced. Look at the Titans. I mean, look at Tennessee. They've pulled some upsets, but how are they eventually stopped? By making the other offensive weapons beat you. So that's my underlying point, is that I need to see more from Wentz. Fair or not, that's what I need. And I'm very curious what the fan base thinks or what the fan base wants as a whole. See a lot of defense in there. I agree. Defense equally as important. Defense has been solid for the Colts. I'd like to see a little bit more overall, but there's plenty of game records on the other side of the ball for Indianapolis. My bigger point is that I know this is mean. I'm sorry. But I'm going to say it anyway. Matthew Stansberry. Jimmy not wearing his red swag because he knows the Chiefs aren't going to win this weekend. Well, Matthew, you're a smart individual, so I'm assuming you know my Chiefs are on bye this weekend and you're just poking fun at me. I appreciate it all the same. But we had some Captain America on today. So that's what we're repping. But it is a little bit of a Colts shade and some Colts colors there for you as well. Inside the Horseshoe says, if Wentz plays similar to that Baltimore game, we win. I'm not sure which part of that you mean. I could be mistaken, but I believe he didn't look great in that second half, if I'm remembering correctly. But maybe I'm wrong on that. Anyway, the point being is that what I was going to say that I said was sad or mean is that Carson Wentz leads the league, or did lead the league for a while there, in yardage from defensive pass interference. That's not sustainable. It's just not. Darren Manis saying Wentz playing better than 2017. Not as flashy, but he's making good decision, and game management is more important to you. I respect that. I understand. I do, and not all of our other hosts around here, which is, again, this is fine. This isn't a knock at them. They just don't care about it as much. Kevin Bowen, I think, does. I care about the PFF numbers. I care about the way that both the analytics and just the scout data is being tracked on quarterback matchups, and that's not entirely true. You can say you feel Wentz is playing better is your opinion, but his numbers haven't been there. His numbers are not where they were at 2017 levels. He's not better than he was then. Maybe he's managing the game better. That's fair. But the numbers aren't there. The numbers don't back that up.
In terms of touchdowns, yeah, but
yes, yeah. I just mean his overall metrics, like based on the way PFF grades things. I don't mean just touchdowns. I mean just full body work. I don't believe he's at his 2017 campaign level yet.
When you just look at it on paper, 63% completion percentage compared to 60. That's an improvement. Sure, he's at 2,400 yards, borderline 2,500, but he finished that year with 3,300, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, only 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles this year. He had 4 that season, so 11 total turnovers, so he's taking care of the football better.
Yeah, and I think that goes to that listener's point.
And I think the difference between 2017 Wentz and this year Wentz is that they didn't have a running back like Jonathan Taylor, so they had to rely on Wentz to make those plays.
Sure.
This year, they've been able to rely on Taylor and not rely on Wentz like they had to in his early years.
But I guess my reckoning to that, and again, it is a criticism, but that's also some of our job here. Our goal is to get you set up for the game, but we also want to dive deep into everything as well. Because quite frankly, I want everybody in this YouTube chat, and I want everybody after the fact to listen to the podcast a little bit. Get yourself up for Colts Buccaneers as you wake up, because this is the Way Too Early pregame show. But our goal isn't just to be a base level pregame show, because it's 6 to 8 a.m. and you have a great, awesome lineup of shows to listen to locally right here on the Fan that get you set up for kickoff as well. My point being is that we are going to get into the meat and bones of things, and we're not just going to be like, "Yay, go Colts! Woo!" It's not all it's going to be here. It's not. But my point is that, and I think to your point, you're right, 1,000%, that he has looked better to an extent. And in addition to that, he hasn't been the sole weapon they've needed like they were in Philadelphia 4 years ago. However, that day is coming where you're going to need him to prove it. And he hasn't really had to do that yet this year. Like, I guess maybe the San Francisco game. But there were a lot again, that's in the monsoon. And there were a lot of pieces that balled out for the Colts that day.
I would even say on the road in Baltimore, they needed him. He did play. And he can't help that Rodrigo gets hurt pre-game.
He can't.
Because they don't lose that game if Rodrigo's healthy.
I won't blame Wentz for the kicker getting injured. And I like Rodrigo. This is a hot take. That's a whole other thing. But I think he's going to get his job back. I do. That's from an emotional standpoint. I have no sources telling me that. I'm being fully honest with you. This is just my opinion. I think he's going to get his job back when he's healthy. Unless they keep him on IR the rest of the year. Or unless he's really not healthy.
But how can you give him his job back if Badgley doesn't miss anything? Like, he hasn't missed a PAT and he hasn't missed a field goal.
Because I think you have a competition inside your own house, and you say you had that competition, and if Rodrigo goes perfect, you're like, all right, well, we're just going to keep him.
But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But if your argument is Rodrigo really wasn't broke before he got hurt, then that would be a reason to go back to him, is my point.
I mean, I agree, but...
I don't care what they do. I don't. Because I don't think it really... I guess I shouldn't say that, because kickers do matter. And I've told you before, I think a kicker is one of the most overlooked positions in football, because it is stress level that I don't want on my plate whatsoever. But I get it. You're paid that's your only job is to kick. I understand the other side of the coin. You should be able to make a kick. I get it. I do. I would also implore you to go out to your local field and try to kick 20, 30 yarders just by yourself and tell me it's the easiest thing to do. My point is, though, that I don't care if they do or not. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. And my reasoning is, I'm not saying this is a weakness in the Colts locker room. I think relationships matter. And I think they view Blankenship as something they found because they brought him in as an undrafted free agent. And they view Badgley as a placeholder. And it's not unprecedented territory. Stuff like that happen all the time.
I think initially they viewed Badgley as a placeholder, but Badgley has proven this year that he can make every kick on the field. And
I'm not calling for Badgley to lose his job.
I understand. But what I'm trying to explain, like, context here on the other side.
Yeah, I get it.
But like you look at the history of Badgley, his career long, I think, is like 57, 58.
Sure. And you can make the case Blankenship can't hit over 50. I understand that.
That's
I understand
another part of it.
I understand that. And again, this isn't me trying to be hot takey. I'm not. I'm just saying that's what I think is going to happen. But at the end of the day, it's not my decision, right? It doesn't come down to what I think. It comes down to what the Colts think. But tell me you cannot see what I'm explaining to you happening. Tell me it's not possible with this regime that they would say, we like what we found in Blankenship. We appreciate him as a player and as a human being. It's his job. Or we're going to let him compete for it. Like I
can see it happening, but to hear Frank Reich say, I don't know if it was last week or it was 2 weeks ago, we haven't really talked about that much or thought about that much, but in terms of activating Hot Rod and how close he was and if he would be the kicker once he was healthy.
Sure. Again, YouTube chat, I need to clarify this for you because some of you are getting antsy about this. I'm not saying I want this to happen. Matthew in the chat saying that's the philosophy that kicked him in the butt was Vinatieri. Hopefully they learned from it. I get it. I do. But also, like, the Vinatieri thing's tough for me. It is very similar to what I'm saying, but I guess to defense of that, and to defense of Eddie's argument, I suppose, is that was a special case. So maybe they don't do it for Blankenship. Maybe I'm wrong. Vinatieri is the greatest kicker of all time. Yeah, greatest moment kicker of all time. I truthfully think Justin Tucker is the greatest kicker to ever play, but that's just because the dude's insane. But Vinatieri has too many clutch kicks on his resume, and I'm not going to argue that. And I'm also not going to waste too much of our time debating who the best kickers are of all time. That's probably not in our demographic. But my point is that, and I don't even remember how I fully got here, unless I just brought it up, which is very plausible. It's early, folks. I'm all over the place. But I think that Blankenship, we were talking about the Ravens game and Wentz and Blankenship. That's how we got there. See? Still got something on me. I think that that's what they're going to do. And I wouldn't do it because of the reasons Eddie outlined. And the main one is that Badgley hasn't missed yet, right? Like, it's tough to say, no, we're not. But last thing, okay? I love sports, right? It consumes me a great deal. I don't play with Legos, but I play video games in my free time, all right? Like, it is not out of the ordinary for a national media outlet to want to do a story on somebody. Think about this guy's story. He's an undrafted rookie, okay? He has the hot rod glasses. That's his nickname. I understand, okay? But it's human interest pieces are what sell. So can we not hate on him anymore about the Legos? Like, who cares? Genuinely. Who cares what the guy... And maybe you don't care what he does off the field, and that's why you're upset about the story. But a lot of people really like human interest pieces like that. They're trying to make him more human, more like you. It is not his fault that they wanted to... Or it's not his fault that they ran a national piece on him. Sure, he could have said no, but who cares, man? Like, let the guy live. God. Anyway, whether he's the Colts kicker or not, just like I feel for Hot Rod a little bit. I do. Tired of the bullying. Like, if you want to get mad at him for missing kicks, that's one thing. But just let the guy have a hobby. Jesus. Anyway, it is Colts Bucks today. And winning does cure all. You're right, David. But Matthew killing it there in the YouTube chat. Fox's 9 never comes and videos me playing with my Lego collection. I've been at it for 42 years. Anyway, this is going to be a fun day. It's going to be a fun game all around for Colts Bucks. I think it's going to be a back and forth affair. And I'm going to give you my prediction at the end of today's show, where I'm going to go. Might surprise you a bit, but I will share that with you at the end. Myself and Eddie Garrison will have some bets for you to go over throughout the day. We have plenty of sound to get to as well, both from the Buccaneers side and the Colts side of things. And we'll have sound from around the National Football League. Love that for you. Do we still have that, by the way?
Give me a minute.
You have to dig for it. All right, get it at the break. Not a big deal. But we will have sound from around the league and give our best bets for the NFL in Week 12 as well. I'm Jimmy Cook, Eddie Garrison behind the ones and twos. You're listening to the Way Too Early pregame show. We come back. We'll take a little bit of a look at the audio side of things from the Colts offense and the Colts defense here on the Way Too Early pregame show on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Black Friday savings are here. Buy 3, get 1 free on Mesa Tires. Save $100 instantly on Cooper Tires and $140 instantly on Michelin Tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Dan Dockich here for PXG Clubs. With PXG Clubs, performance is in the bag. I just got custom fitted for my new set of PXG Clubs over at the Golf Club of Indiana. At Golf Club of Indiana, they have indoor and outdoor fitting bays with TrackMan technology to get your new PXG Clubs fully optimized for distance, accuracy, and feel. Get ready to increase your performance like me and enjoy the game with PXG Clubs. Schedule your custom fitting experience at pxg.com or 844-PLAY-PXG.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Owner Danny Reinhardt's son Kevin says one simple saying from his dad affects him every day at work.
Especially when you go out and do sales and service calls and collect money and do all this stuff that's important to a lot of people. He always said the number one thing I remember from him is just fair and honest wins every time.
You can trust Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, 317-745-4526. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Here's what's happening with the Fan. Listen to Kevin and Query 7 to 10 a.m. and call in to the pop quiz for your chance at a Jiffy Lube prize pack. JMV is at Brothers downtown on Wednesday as he looks ahead to the Colts game and gives you a shot at Pacers versus Hawks tickets on Wednesday night. And live from Joe's Grill and Fishers next Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m., join JMV as he broadcasts for Larceny Locks and Lunazul Shots. Come listen to the Larceny Lock and enjoy some Lunazul Shots.
For more info, click on 1075thefan.com.
Hey, JMV, this Thanksgiving, FanDuel Sportsbook is thankful for you. That's why they're giving all customers up to a $100 bonus on same-game parlays. Feast on the NFL all weekend long and turn little bets into big paydays with same-game parlays. There is so much you can look forward to coming up on Thanksgiving and this weekend. I mean, you can go at it. I mention all the time the Colts and the Buccaneers. That is a big one certainly around here. Make it happen with a same-game parlay. Yards, passing with Brady and with Wentz, or whatever you want to do. But do it with FanDuel Sportsbook using the promo code JMV. Again, you can also have a risk-free bet up to $1,000 by using that promo code JMV. 21 plus and present in Indiana. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $100. Plus 400 odds or longer wager required. Restrictions apply at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
The Pacers Gold Weekend continues when the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks come to town on Sunday. Get balcony tickets starting at just $5 or Craig DeVault level tickets for $35. It's a Sunday matinee at 5 p.m. and your last chance to catch the Bucks at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Pick and roll pass, perfectly executed. Turner grabs it and slams it right in front with two hands.
Get your tickets at Pacers.com/Gold Friday. That's Pacers.com/Gold Friday. Pacers Bucks, Sunday at 5.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code READY for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code READY for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code READY.
Happy holidays don't just happen on their own. You make them happen with a little help from new appliances at the Home Depot. Because warm wishes won't roast that turkey. You'll want a new convection oven for that. An air fryer will help make the season light and delicious. And while you're at it, consider a new LG or Samsung fridge that's big enough to hold all kinds of Christmas cheer. Make the holidays yours with the season's best savings on top appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
The thing about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. We probably don't even need the words, the Name Your Price tool, to tell you that our humpback whale pup gives you options based on your budget, or that our novelty hand buzzer helps you save on car insurance. And that's the thing about the tiny felt bag filled with marbles. At this point, you've heard a lot of ads about the elusive northern bobcat. The Name Your Price the neighbor who baked you banana bread, only from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Join 93.5, 107.5 The Fan after the Pacers game Monday night for Inside IU Basketball with Coach Mike Woodson.
We have your chance to win tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra when they return to Gamebridge Fieldhouse December 22nd. Sign up to win today at 1075thefan.com.
Hey, wake up. We're talking football. It's the Way Too Early pregame show on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Way Too Early pregame show. I'm your host, Jimmy Cook. Give me a follow on Twitter at @TheJCook. Producer extraordinaire Eddie Garrison. Find him on Twitter at Eddie Garrison _. In fact, while you have a second, tweet me again on Twitter at @TheJCook, or go to the YouTube chat, go to youtube.com, search the Way Too Early pregame show, and comment on the following. Excuse me. Will the trade for Carson Wentz have been worth it if the Colts make the playoffs, lose in the first round, and are out a first-round pick? Curious on your thoughts on that. It's been on my mind a lot lately. Because that was a debate early on in the season when they were, Eddie, remind me what the low point was. 1-4, was it?
I think so.
Around that area. You get my point. It was towards the end of September.
Yeah, 1-4 after the Baltimore loss.
Where conversations were around this team of should they bench Wentz? Should they move on from it? I asked those questions. I did. And the thought was that there was too much effort and respect for the rest of the guys on this roster to make an obvious move that would show that you're tanking when you are still alive, mathematically speaking, in the playoff hunt. Fast forward about 2 months, it's an entirely different conversation. Now your Indianapolis Colts from the driver's seat to a postseason spot. They, in many ways, control their own destiny. Not fully, but I believe so, actually. I believe if they win out, they're pretty much in. Like, that's almost a lock.
So, I mean, we've been in agreement this whole time that 10 wins get you to the playoffs, right?
Yes. Well, I've gone back and forth with that a little bit, but for the most part, 10 should, but 11 is where you're really comfortable.
Okay.
I've flopped a little bit on that. I think I was in the 10 boat early on in the season, but as this new extra game has been added in, I've modified my expectations for things.
Okay.
Also, this year's been wild. But yeah, let's say 10 for the sake of argument.
Okay, so you have New England. It's already at 7. They will probably get number 8 today. They play Tennessee, and Tennessee is without everybody except Ryan Tannehill.
R.I.P. to my fantasy team. In my family league. I tried to get sympathy for my work league, and you were not having any of it.
Nope.
A week ago, my family league now. A.J. Brown, tough loss. We're trotting out Cortland Sutton out there now to go along with DJ Moore and Jamar Chase, which is nice. But still, go on, Eddie.
And you have the Bengals that have 6 wins.
Any fantasy questions you have, by the way, YouTube chat. We'll try to get to them.
Then you have the Colts. And say
so Bengals 6 wins, and then the Colts, you say?
Well, yeah. So these are the teams that the Colts are going up against. You have the Patriots. They have 7 already. Cincinnati has 6. Chargers have 6. Pittsburgh has 5. But they have the edge because of that stupid tie.
God bless the tie. Not because of that, but just I love ties.
And then you have the Raiders, who have 6, and the Browns, who have 6. If the Colts lose today, they are 6-6, which means they need to go 4-1. And the Raiders just beat Dallas on Thanksgiving, and you have to go to Arizona, and you still have New England.
Do not drink the Raiders Kool-Aid.
Dude,
don't do it.
Everyone's telling me that.
Don't do it.
But I am in the opposite. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid.
Cooper. There was no CeeDee Lamb. And the Raiders are the Raiders.
Still, to go to Dallas and beat them, though. That's
a big win, for sure.
You can't discount that.
Yeah, you can't, except
but
it's the Raiders.
Exactly. The Colts have struggled against the Raiders historically. I think out of the last 5 games, 4 of them have been one-score games.
I apologize. I'll admit my mistake here because I'm kind of working 1 week at a time for the Colts. I had forgotten where the Raiders game was on the schedule. I meant, to clarify this, I meant in the playoff hunt. Head-to-head, yeah, if you're the Colts, maybe don't sleep on the Raiders. Sure. I meant big picture, though. Like, the Raiders are a beatable team.
I don't disagree.
But I understand where you're coming from. You're talking about the fact the Colts face them later this year.
Yes.
That's your point of emphasis there.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I meant big picture. 1 game sample size, sure. National Football League, anything can happen. Raiders are a solidly constructed team. Did we ever figure out what happened to Darren Waller? That's a conversation for another day. But he did get a little banged up in that game. He might have returned. I don't know. There was a lot of turkey that was consumed on Thanksgiving, folks.
He
By
left
the way,
that game, by the way.
He did leave. I don't remember if he ever returned.
He did not return. He did return one time, but then he left again and never returned after that. He has a strained IT band in his knee.
That doesn't sound good. Wildly speculating, having not a clear idea of how good or bad that is, it doesn't sound good.
It's better than what the Raiders initially thought, so.
I'm sure that was, ACL or MCL or something like that?
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
That's what Ian Rappaport is reporting.
Okay. So anyway, my point, though, is that if there's, and again, this is getting into the way too early pregame show, way too early, because that game is way down the line, Eddie. But I understand your larger point, which is the playoff race.
But I was just putting it in context.
I just mean me bringing up Darren Waller isn't pertinent right now, because that's still 3 weeks away. I'm not talking about your point. I mean mine about Darren Waller. Yours is very pertinent because this is a playoff race the Colts are very much in. And that is why you're right. If you lose this game, in order to be comfortably in, you would need to go 4-1 the rest of the way.
And even right now, they're 9th in the playoff seeding.
But you got to let everything else play out, right? I mean, you're 9th in the playoff seeding because you have a playoff picture that features a jumbled up mess, particularly in the AFC. And you have teams that are going to play each other. That's going to somewhat sort itself out. That will happen. But regrettably, we have to let that happen. You have to let things play out. You can only control what you can control as a team, and that is the games on your schedule. And the Colts, as it stands right now, are beneficiaries of being in control of their own destiny. Now, Jeremy says, if Pittsburgh gets in based on tied with Detroit, I'm shutting off the NFL for the entire playoffs. That would be the most NFL and Pittsburgh thing ever, by the way. It's a great point. If the Steelers end up getting in on a tie break from that tie with the winless Lions. Steelers have no business being in there, man. I told you this.
Zero.
And whether it's on the Dan Dockett show with Dan or whether it is the brief time I was filling in with the Fan Morning Show, I guess now rebranded as Query and Schultz.
Whoa.
Oh, man, that's a bad one, isn't it? That's an awful one. My apologies, Kevin Bowen. I owe him something for that. That's bad. That is rough. Rebranded as Query and Bowen. I'm sorry, KB, publicly. That's not good. That's a Freudian slip, but that's not good. Query and Bowen. And a shout out to Derek Schultz, by the way. Great guy. He's viewing this this Wentz train as a Hogwarts Express type deal. And the last win for the Colts, I sent him, if you're a Harry Potter fan, great. If you're not, I'm going to waste your time with this anyway. I sent him when Ron and Harry are using the flying car instead of taking the train, and they're spinning out of control, going crazy, and they somehow make it safely. That was the Colts game from 2 weeks ago, not last week. Last week, everything was smooth sailing. So,
I'd like to. So when you
Kevin and Query again, that's,
right?
We don't have a fine bucket, but there's something there that.
But to get back to like the playoff picture kind of look here for the Colts, you look at the three teams that are in front of them. You're not going to catch New England. I don't think you're going to pass New England, so you're fighting for that second wild card spot. And I still think there's a slim chance they can win the AFC South with the injuries that Tennessee has.
They are starting to pile up
because
you're not as crazy as you would have been 24 hours ago.
Because they lost to the Jets without A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, and they just lost to the Texans without Henry, Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown left that game early.
Here's your problem, though.
But hold on.
Don't you need them to lose out because of the tiebreaker?
They need to lose 3 games. The Colts are 2 games back in the loss column, 3 back because of the tiebreaker. Tennessee has New England this week. I think that's a loss. That's in New England. Then they have Jacksonville, or they have a bye week. Then they have Jacksonville, and then they have to go to Pittsburgh. They won't have A.J. Brown for that Pittsburgh game because that would be the 3rd game.
Sure.
He'd have to come off after that, off IR after that. Then San Francisco, and I think San Francisco could get them.
I don't think Pittsburgh can.
I think
Pittsburgh,
San
Francisco.
I think Pittsburgh can because of the injuries that are on the plate here for Tennessee.
Maybe.
They may have Julio Jones, but I don't think Julio Jones is enough to make them win, especially at Pittsburgh.
That Steelers offense is bad.
The offense has been good lately, though.
Big Ben still is not. He's not instilling fear in anybody. Is my point. Najee Harris has been solid. That Chargers game was painful, like truly painful. If you have almost any other quarterback in the National Football League right now, maybe not almost any, but you give me a top 15 quarterback right now, and maybe Roethlisberger is somehow actually there. So this is a dumb statement, but you know what I'm saying. You give me a competent quarterback that still has an arm, they don't lose that game to the Chargers, last weekend? They had no business losing that game at all. And their defense is what messed them up. Their defense is what cost them that game. Let Mike Williams walk into the end zone because they had a blown assignment. I can't remember if it was because they blitzed or if it was just a miscommunication between the corner and the safety, but complete blown assignment.
It was.
Anyway, I get it. That's one play, right? That's not. Their defense has been turning a corner. The offense has looked better, but Big Ben is still. Big Ben is getting the Vinatieri treatment right now. But for 2 reasons. They don't have another option. They can't go sign a guy off the street. Anyway, the bigger point of all that was the playoff picture. And the point is, Eddie's right. there is still hope for the Colts to catch the Titans, but that's not where and this isn't where Eddie's is either. I'm not speaking for Eddie. I'm speaking if I'm a Colts fan, though, and you're listening to everything we've talked about today. That is not where my mindset is. My mindset is taking care of business on your schedule, because if you do that, division or not, you're going to the playoffs. You are.
Okay, so now you have to play the schedule comparison game.
Sure.
You look at the Chargers.
There's time for this, by the way. You want to?
I know, we got to do this really quick.
All right.
Before we get to a break.
All right.
So they are at Denver this week, at Cincinnati. Then they have the Giants, your Chiefs at home, at Houston, Denver again, and then the Raiders.
They can lose 2 of those games.
Right. And they're already up on the Colts. And if you're saying, and if we.
By the way, I'm not saying they can and still have a better spot. I'm saying, I think they're going to lose 2 of those games. Guess which one of them are.
The Chiefs. I'd give you that.
Thank you.
But it wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs lost either.
Yeah, sure. Chargers are a great team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking that. But the West still runs through Kansas City. I am Jimmy Cook. This is the Way Too Early pregame show. When we come back, we will, I promise, it's just been a fun, engaging debate, both from the YouTube chat and for myself and the great Eddie Garrison. We will have plenty of sound for you. We'll have Carson Wentz talking about something we mentioned earlier, the importance of having a balanced offensive attack. We'll also look a little bit at the defensive side of things. Why Deforest Buckner feels they got to get in Brady's face. That's one of our keys today as well. Plus bets and more around the National Football League. It is the Way Too Early pregame show. Stay with us. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. The Goblet has dropped. Download it. Must be 21 and up.
Football fans, who's ready to score some free bets? You can when you bet on any NFL game this week with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers who bet just $1 on either team to score can win $100 in free bets. When a team scores, you score. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get skin in the game with the new same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use code 1075FAN. Bet $1 on either team to score and win $100 in free bets. That's 1075FAN this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You got to be 21 or older. Indiana only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, 800-9-WITH-IT.
Don't let winter catch you off guard. Be prepared with Aaron's, the king of snow, a trusted name that won't let you down year after year. Aaron's snowblowers are handcrafted in the USA with powerful engines that won't bog down in any condition. Trust Aaron's to throw snow better and farther than any other snow throwers out there. Aaron's Snow Throwers offers all-day performance, world-class engineering, and a lineup of machines to fit every need. Throw back what old man winter dishes out with Aaron's, the king of snow. Visit your local independent Aaron's dealer today.
Hun, have you seen this internet bill? Why'd the price go up?
I don't know. Did you change anything?
No. Did you? You switched us to those fancy coffee beans. Maybe you're on a roll, making everything more expensive. Did you suddenly inherit money you didn't tell me about?
Whoa.
If your internet bill is giving you trust issues, you're not a bad partner. You just need a straightforward price.
Maybe we switch to decaf.
Get AT&T Fiber. Equipment fees are included, and with no price increase at 12 months, there are no surprises. Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/faster.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash-out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Winter is here, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's going to happen. Slush and sleet and all kind of nastiness. You need to get into the club, just like I am. The AAA Club. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. Lock your keys in your car. AAA is there 24/7, 365. You really want to change a flat on the side of the road with cars and trucks zooming by 70 miles per hour? I know I don't. I know I don't want my kids to. It isn't safe. It isn't convenient. People texting, distracted by something. Stay safe and in the club with AAA 24/7, 365 days a year. Give the gift of a AAA Classic membership. Details at AAA.com. Do yourself a favor. Join AAA today. I joined AAA. They came out for a flat tire about a month ago. Fantastic. For a AAA membership, stop by an office. Visit AAA.com or go to 844-GO-AAA-GO. Don't forget to ask about travel planning and great insurance rate, auto, home, and life, because you don't have to be stuck on the side of the road to get assistance from AAA.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet incompatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Cyber Monday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
As the challenges of the pandemic continue, families in poverty are facing fears. They're afraid of hunger, of eviction, but they're not afraid of hard work. When even 2 jobs aren't enough, they find a way for their families. But when you give to the Salvation Army, you help their hopes outpace their fears. Just $25 a month helps families fend off homelessness. Keep hope marching on at SalvationArmyIndiana.org.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Black Friday savings are here. Buy 3, get 1 free on Mesa Tires. Save $100 instantly on Cooper Tires and $140 instantly on Michelin Tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
It's never too early for football.
Yeah, it's too early.
It's the Way Too Early pregame show on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Back inside the DriveHubler.com studios is the Way Too Early pregame show. I'm your host, Jimmy Cook. Thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday morning with us here on the Way Too Early pregame show. The first voices that you hear on a Colts game day, provided it's on a Sunday. Won't get into the specifics of that, but sometimes we air on a Sunday even though the Colts play on a Saturday or Thursday. At which point, maybe we should rebrand to the Way Too Late postgame show.
That's what it'll feel like when they have to play New England Saturday night.
It will. We'll be there Sunday morning. Well, that'll be at 10 a.m. Is that next week? No, it's a couple weeks, right?
That is 2 weeks away.
2 weeks from now, that's what I thought.
Next week is, who is next week?
Colts next week is Texans, at Texans.
Yep, then they have the bye, and then they have New England.
So that will be another Colts Texans will be a 6 a.m. edition of the Way Too Early pregame show on December 5th. Then we will have, I believe we do have a show during the bye, so please join us. We'll talk Colts at the home stretch of the season. That'll be a 10 a.m. program. And then on the 18th, they play on a Saturday, right? That's a Saturday game. Saturday game against the Pats. We'll have you a Sunday following day at 10 a.m. But today's primary focus is Colts Buccaneers. And Nolan in the YouTube chat says after this game, we will know if the Colts are legit playoff contenders and if they change things up. I would argue that you kind of learned that a week ago. And win or lose this game, it's not going to change my opinion on the Colts, which is that I now believe they are capable of beating good teams. Am I saying they could beat every team that's good? No. But I now have a little bit of faith in them that they can get the job done. It will be an interesting test, and it's a good measuring stick. I won't deny you that. But even if they do lose, don't start thinking, oh, this team can't hang with anybody in the playoffs, because I don't know that's fair. Just don't. Plenty of other reasons to hang your hat on that with the final 4 games to go, 3 of which are against likely playoff teams. I'm Jimmy Cook. It is the Way Too Early pregame show. When we come back, that's right, we were up against the hard out here. Or I guess, we're getting too in the weeds. We're up against the break here.
The metaphorical
hard out. We will get to that Colts audio. Going to have plenty of audio here in the next hour. Additionally, at 7:30, we will go over around the National Football League and then hand out some best bets for you, answer some fantasy football questions. If you have them, search us on YouTube, the Way Too Early pregame show on youtube.com. Interact with the comments section. We'll get to you. Interact with you on a Sunday morning. Colts, Buccaneers. Should be a fun one at Lucas Oil Stadium. 93.5, 107.5, The Fan. Come right back.
It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
The holidays are here, and this Thanksgiving, FanDuel Sportsbook is thankful for you. That's why they're giving all customers up to a $100 bonus on same-game parlays. Feast on the NFL all weekend long and turn little bets into big paydays with same-game parlays. Choose any game from the Week 12 slate and build your own same-game parlay. So, for example, the Colts take on the Bucs. Maybe you want Tom Brady over in passing yards, Jonathan Taylor to score 2 touchdowns, and the over in total points in the third quarter. You can build it out any way you want, any game you want in Week 12. That's why I love betting the NFL on FanDuel Sportsbook. Plus, the app is safe, secure, and easy to use, and you get payouts in as little as 2 hours. Plus, if it's your first time betting with FanDuel, you can also enjoy a risk-free bet up to $1,000 when you sign up with promo code MARC, M-A-R-C. 21 and over and present in Indiana. Bonus issued is now withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $100 plus 400 odds or longer. Wager required. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Fever is a potential sign of COVID or the flu, and the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Exergen Temporal Scanners, available at Walmart and other fine retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com. That's EXERGEN.com. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
The Pacers' Gold Weekend continues when the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks come to town on Sunday. Get balcony tickets starting at just $5 or Craig DeVault level tickets for $35. It's a Sunday matinee at 5 p.m. and your last chance to catch the Bucks at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Pick and roll pass, perfectly executed. Turner grabs it and slams it right in front with 2 hands.
Get your tickets at Pacers.com/Gold Friday. That's Pacers.com/Gold Friday. Pacers Bucks, Sunday at 5.
Hey parents, here's some good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are now eligible for a COVID vaccine. That means all those future CEOs and artists, world-class chefs and sports stars, the engineers and the innovators are eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. And it's specifically formulated just for them. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code READY for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code READY for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code READY.
You didn't.
Yep.
I thought you learned your lesson.
I guess not.
Dad, the vultures are back.
Okay, kids, you know the drill. Windows up.
Gone too far looking for a good deal on gas? Try Price Match, only from BP Me Rewards at participating BP and Amoco stations. Learn more at bp.com/best price.
Join 93.5, 107.5 The Fan after the Pacers game Monday night for Inside IU Basketball with Coach Mike Woodson.
Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. The Goblet has dropped. Download it. Must be 21 and up.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
WIBC HD2 W298BB. WIBC HD3 W228CX Indianapolis.
It's 7 a.m. Grab your coffee and...
Is that bacon?
No, it's football. It's the Way Too Early pregame show with your host, Jimmy Cook.
Good morning, Indianapolis. Final hour of the Way Too Early pregame show. If you're just joining us, where the hell were you?
We're in the second half.
Come on. We're a second half show. That's what I've heard. That's what people are saying.
Now, how about you start about how you finished, Jimmy?
Amen to that. We're going to give 110%, Eddie, in this second hour of the Way Too Early pregame show. I'm done. That's the end of my cliches. If you want to close this out, you can. But that's all I got right now. It's the DriveHuber.com studios. High above the Christmas tree lit circle of lights, downtown Indianapolis. Follow me on Twitter at the J Cook. Give Eddie Garrison a follow at Eddie Garrison _. Time to take a look at some audio. I promised it to you many segments ago, and now we begin with it. I mentioned it to you to start the show. I need a balanced Colts offensive attack today if they are going to be victorious against Tampa Bay, which is what I need.
Just you.
That's just me. Maybe you don't, but I do. Carson Wentz seems to feel the same way, though.
I think it's important in this league because every single Sunday, you're going to get a different game plan from the defense as well. And, you're going to sometimes have weather, sometimes be in a dome. You're going to have lots of different factors. And to be able to be in the middle of the game and, all right, we start to get a feel, hey, we can run the ball. And let's just keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. And guys were moving guys up front and creating space. And JT was doing his thing. So to be able to do that within a game is important. Every week you kind of have an idea what, your identity is going to be. But it's usually that first quarter, those first couple drives. Let's see what we can do and where we're at, and then the rest is kind of predicated off of that.
He didn't go as much in depth there as I wanted on the passing game, but he is right that Jonathan Taylor opens things up for you and allows you, like immediately, by association with Taylor's performance, to be balanced. I think that's a fair assessment. And I think that's what's necessary to... I think that's what's necessary. I was laughing at the YouTube chat. We're going all over the place right now. That's what's necessary if you're going to beat Tampa Bay today. And if it's not true today, it's going to be true in 2 weeks. Because that is what Hoodie does.
Yep.
Hoodie, shorthand for Bill Belichick, in case you haven't been a Colts fan until yesterday. Not you. I meant the YouTube chat. But anyway, the Hoodie will do that. Darth Sidious, as it were. Any other villains you want to throw out there?
Joker.
There you go. The Dark Lord.
Voldemort.
That's what I was saying there, but thank you for that. That's the same person, but that's
sorry,
okay.
I'm not a Harry Potter person.
It's all right. It's okay.
It.
That's all right. It's he who must not be named also, but I mean, show some respect. Anyway.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Frank Reich, this will be big for Colts fans. If you love running the damn ball, Frank Reich says every week the goal is to run the ball like they did versus the Bills.
No doubt. Like this week, we want to go in, and every week we want to establish the run. Our identity is we want to run the ball, good play action pass game, and then be really good at situational football. So that's kind of who we wanted to be from the start. We got the offensive line to do that, the running back to do that, the skill guys to do it, the quarterback who's good at that kind of deal. You still have to adjust and adapt as games go on. They just play out differently.
That is true. You do have to adapt. But Colts fans, as they should, love them some Jonathan Taylor. And he doesn't need to do 5 touchdown games left and right. That'd be nice, but that's not what you need from him. But the MVP conversation is interesting to me. And I know it's hard as a fan when you have a player that's so good to not want to back in his corner and be like, yeah, this guy's got to be MVP. I don't have a fan hat on. This is true honesty for you. He would need to either get close to a rushing touchdown or a rushing yardage record to win MVP as a running back. It is insanely hard to do. It's basically a quarterback's award at this point in time. Aaron Donald's been thrown in there the last couple of years, but it's almost a lock that a quarterback's going to win that award. Now, Offensive Player of the Year.
I was about to say they need to rebrand these.
You could grab it. Yeah,
awards.
There's been arguments about that for a year. For
Best
sure.
Offensive Player Award.
For sure.
It's not a quarterback.
But it's going to be tough. Now he's plus 2,000 odds. I would take that. Again, he is. Oh, is it? Sorry, let me read this question. Isn't by definition of MVP is what Jonathan Taylor was during that Bill game? Oh, if he's not by definition what an MVP is during the Bills game, the Colts still win. No, they don't. I think if Jonathan Taylor doesn't, I told you that a week ago, and Eddie agreed with me as well, I believe. Again, don't want to put words in your mouth, but you needed Derrick Henry or better, like numbers from Jonathan Taylor a week ago to win that game.
I said I was in the other camp, and because I said I thought Jonathan Taylor wouldn't have a great game.
You did, that's right. Because I gave you that as a potential beer bet, and you turned that down for the Cowboys instead, and you still lost. But that's
right. I didn't.
You're still up a game, and we're gonna get back to fair territory now, and I'm gonna go on a slump. But
I appreciate that. I appreciate you for finally letting me have some fairness to these.
You're welcome.
Beer bets, but I was in that camp that I didn't think Taylor would have a great game because I thought Buffalo's front was better. But once I saw Star Lotulelei was officially out, I was like, oh boy, that's different. And then, and I said that Wentz would have to play, well for them. But
so that was your thought a week ago. Do you disagree with me this week that I think Wentz needs to play well?
No, I agree.
Okay.
Because if Vita Vea is active and it looks like he is, good luck trying to run the football with Vita Vea right there. But I am all for that.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible,
but you're right.
But like they are such a much better run defensive team when Vita Vea is playing in comparison when he's not.
Yep.
Because I think the last couple games they have shown the ability to be ran on when he's not in the lineup, like I just said.
And maybe you're getting lucky getting him his first game back from injury, right? I mean, I know that's just a hope. I don't have any data to back that up, but that would be your hope, right? Is that he's come back first game from injury, and maybe you catch him napping. Now, you assume that a player like that is still staying healthy and through rehab is keeping their body right. So that's just a hope. There's no truth to that. It's just what you're hoping for going in to that matchup. Somebody says, basically they call BS on wanting to run the ball every week. Maybe the last 5 or 6 games, but not at the start of the season. And that's John Jones says that. I agree with that to an extent. I mean, you can definitely see that metrically. Yeah, I agree. They're passing the ball a lot more. But I would also argue that even if your thought process is run the damn ball, you're also trying to figure out what you have with Jonathan Taylor. And additionally, you can't run the ball when you're down. You can to an extent, but you're not going to come back in many games unless your running back's otherworldly.
It depends on the deficit, too.
Sure. Yeah. Down, I guess I'm saying 2 scores or more is my point there. So I get that, and I still think that Frank Reich has a want to air that ball out. And I think that's not going anywhere. But now you need balance. You need the scales in the right direction. A good mix is what's going to be the most successful path for you. Because Jonathan Taylor can't do it alone. This isn't golf. This isn't tennis. And in some cases, if it's easier for you, the NBA is still, in my mind, a full team game. But it's not the NBA either. You need a complete attack. The only position you can get away with that is quarterback. Because that is able to open things up in your running game and passing game and pick up flaws for your defense. But a running back in the modern NFL is not capable of fixing those gaps. It's much easier to contain that than it is a passing game. Just is.
Yeah, I totally agree. And last week I mentioned, Jimmy, that when you asked me if the Colts could win, I said, well, they could if they got like a defensive or a special team score, and pretty much they did.
Yeah.
With the, I forget the returner's name, but slipping, falling, fumbling, TJ Carey returning it to the 1 yard line, defense with a couple turnovers. So my question to you this week, can this defense turn Tom Brady over?
It starts for me up front. Yeah, and we're gonna let's play a clip of that here in a second. It's a good segue. But you need to be able to get after him. And here's the problem. If the Bucs know that that's what the Colts are going to bring to the table, because Manning did it effectively as well, you're not going to see that ball in his hands very long. You need to get after him and rattle him early in this game, because if their game plan is 2 seconds or less, or 3 seconds or less, the ball's out, I don't know your pass rush is going to get there. I just don't. So, do I think they can? Yes. But I don't think it's turning Tom Brady over. I need it after the catch turnovers. Meaning I need another peanut punch from Darius Leonard. Or I need, doesn't just have to be Darius, it could be DeForest. It could be a play after a catch by Yasin. I'm just using DeForest, or I'm using Darius because he's the one that's most renowned for it, is causing those fumbles.
Yep.
That's the type of turnover Tom Brady I need. I don't think you're going to get. You can if you force him to make mistakes, but again, he's just so good. Like he is. I'm not getting into this debate right now. I contend that championships are won by teams, and that Tom Brady has been put in fortunate situations his entire career, but he's taken advantage of every one of them. I'm not undercutting the Super Bowls. I'm not. But
you certainly got bailed out in a few.
I think Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady is. I do. I think at the position, I think he's an overall better quarterback. That does not mean that Tom Brady can't be the greatest player to ever do it. It doesn't. But positionally, I would take Rodgers over him. I would. But again, I don't want to talk about that because we're focused on Colts Bucs right now. I preface that to say Tom Brady is human. You have to get after him, though. And if you're not winning that battle in the trenches, it's not going to matter. Somebody asked in the YouTube chat, who's going to cover Gronk? It's a great question. Eddie, you have any thoughts on that? Who do you trust to most successfully cover Rob Gronkowski?
I'd say someone from the Pacers, but they can't play defense much right now either. They're just getting a little luck.
Well done. It's tough, man. I mean, he's one of those pieces where unless you're sending double after him, and even then it's not guaranteed, he's a game wrecker. He is one of the best tight ends in the National Football League. Still is. And I don't know. I don't have a good answer to that for you. I wish I did. So I'm glad I'm not putting on the game plan this week. Somebody upset about got a nickel on the refs. Gonna flag anyone for breathing wrong on Brady. That's fine. You're not wrong there. I've seen it happen to my teams before, but you got to protect the quarterback. I understand. I get it to an extent. As long as they're not egregious. Call it down the middle, call it consistently, but that's not the way it works. Superstar calls are a thing, but you got to persevere through that. You're never going to hear me say exclusively, maybe in the moment, but after I've calmed down a bit for one of my teams, you're never going to hear me say that a flag is the only reason that you lost. You're just not. Except for D Ford, and not because that was a bad call. That's a whole other story. That wasn't at the refs, that was at the player. Let's go to Deforest Buckner talking about what we just talked about, saying that they have to get in Brady's face.
Just making sure that we apply pressure, for all 60 minutes. Watching film, you notice the teams, that got consistent pressure on them all game. They benefited from it and, ended up with a win. So we got to do a good job up front, really interior-wise, too, getting that pressure in his face, constantly just, applying pressure all day.
That's what we just said. That's what you need. You need to get after him as much as you can.
And that's what the Saints did in that game against Tampa Bay. I mean, yeah, the Saints didn't win, but you could tell Brady was incredibly uncomfortable because they generated so much pressure in the face of Brady. And that's been the one thing in his career, Jimmy, is that he doesn't like it at all. And you can see it. He gets visibly frustrated when he allows, or the offensive line allows, pressure to come straight into his face.
To clarify it a bit, they did win that game. New Orleans did.
Oh, that is right.
They did.
I forgot.
But that was back and forth to your credit on it. But
yeah,
they did
I've slept since then. I forgot.
No, it's all right. I only looked it up because I couldn't remember how it went either. But yeah, they did. So that's even more to your point about that succeeding for the Colts, because it can work, particularly when injuries happen. Because I think they were down. I think AB was out that game, I think.
Antonio Brown has been out 5 going on 6 weeks.
So I'm not going to do the math there, but we'll say he was out. That would track.
Correct.
That would track.
I would know because he's on a couple of my fantasy teams.
There you go. Yeah, so I think that if you're able to get after Brady consistently with no more than 4, that you're going to be solid. If you have to bring more, or if you're trying to send blitzes at him, he's going to pick you apart. He still has valuable weapons to throw to. Mike Evans is playing. Chris Godwin playing. Rob Gronkowski playing.
Leonard Fournette.
There you go. Just
playing.
Name an offensive weapon. And this defense is getting healthy at the right time. Speaking of which, see how Bruce is doing. Well, Bruce Arians. Name that still gets a lot of traction around here for his time with the Colts. Super Bowl winning Bruce Arians. Now, talking about what we just mentioned, the defense getting healthier and how big it is.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, and getting Sean back was huge. Carlton he activated him today, but doubt he'll be ready to play. He needs to get some volume work. And I think whoever's, Nacho, Stevie did a hell of a job stepping in. Vervita, we've played without Devin. If Devin can't play, Kevin will step in and do a hell of a job. But yeah, I see our defense getting their swagger back.
Sean Murphy Bunting, who he's referring to there at corner. So they're getting healthier week over week. And I am not saying that Tampa Bay is unbeatable. There's very few unbeatable teams in the league this year. I get it. I think eventually teams going to pull from the pack, and maybe Colts fans will disagree with this statement, but there's a lot of parity in the National Football League this year. More so than I can remember in a long time. Do I think separation's eventually going to happen? Yes.
Maybe.
You say maybe, I say yes. It's going to happen. At the very least, I will be right because only a certain number of teams can make the playoffs. So there will be separation at least in the wild card race.
There you go. I'll give you that one.
We'll count it for the beer bet. See if that happens. Let's listen a little bit more on the Pats. Tom Brady.
The Pats?
Here you go. Oh, man. Can we just move this show like an hour? Let's hear more on Pats in 2 weeks. Former Pat. All-time Pat great. Tom Brady. Talking about, get ready for this, Indianapolis. Are you stopping what you're doing? Have you put your car in park? You're going to want to hear this. He says the Colts have a great team. How about that?
Yeah, it's a team I've played a lot of games against and pretty meaningful ones. I don't think any of those will have any effect on this game this weekend. It's a totally different opponent, totally different style of play. Yeah, there's a lot of coaches here that coached the Colts at one time or another. So it's going to be a great game. I mean, they got a good football team. They're playing really well. They went on the road against Buffalo last week, played great football. They got a very good defense, some really, elite players, D-line, linebacker. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. We got to obviously, it's a short week for us and Thanksgiving. So a lot of things can be made of it. A lot of excuses can be built in, but we got to just push forward and go try to get a win on the road.
So there you go. Tommy Brady. Giving some love to the Colts. Bury the hatchet now, right? Everything's fine. I know everything's not fine. I understand. They got a boo, do you think? They got a boo, 100%. Right? They got to be boo birds. There's no way they're not.
I'll be there and I'll let you know.
Yeah, Eddie will. Eddie will report back. Give him a follow on Twitter at Eddie Garrison _ Kokomo says Colts win in a dogfight against the Buccaneers. I'm going to have my pick at the end of the show. Let you know my thoughts there. Tom Brady, one more time, says that the Buccaneers got to get that lead early.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They do. So we got to be prepared for it. And we just got to play well early. We got to, try to keep the crowd out of it. So I think getting a lead is always important, certainly on the road. It's a team that runs the ball really well. They like to control the pace of the game, but, we got to do a good job of that by playing good offensive football.
We cut the questions out for the sake of brevity. So we know what the question was asked there. However, we got a little crowd mention there, just what we were talking about. So how about Tom Brady?
He was talking to you there, Jimmy.
Working with synergy. That's what I like to hear. Big time for TB12. The dude just wins, man. Like that's like.
Need some avocado toast?
Man, sounds interesting. No, I'm good though. I'm fine with regular toast. I'm good. Give me some toast and some
coffee.
Butter. Not a big coffee guy, but I have made a tradition for these early shows to pick up some brunch shortly after. A little tired today. Don't know if we're going to do that until a more traditional brunch, say 10 or 11 instead. But it's a fun week 12. When we come back, myself and Eddie Garrison will go over the week 12 matchups around
National Football League.
There it is. Around the National Football League. At some point, he won't be awake for it because I can't blame him. But we're going to let Mark Boyle know that we have him as a sounder now for the Way Too Early pregame show. Brunch. Eddie's so mad at me right now. I'm sorry, but I'm going to do this anyway. Where do I score brunch? We're not sponsored, so I can do this freely. Rosie's and Carmel is where I pick up my brunch usually. Shout out to Rosie's. Great spot. I see a lot of folks in Colts gear. I'm assuming that is a pregame spot for Colts fans when it's a 1 o'clock kick. Could be wrong.
Never heard of it because I'm not on your side of town.
There's also a Rosie's. I think the original one is in Zionsville, I believe. But Rosie's in Carmel is where I usually score my brunch. Sometimes Wild Eggs every now and again. But Rosie's has been the hot spot for your boy. This is the Way Too Early pregame show. Again, when we come back, we'll take a trip around the league. We'll hand out some bets. And we'll give our score predictions for Colts, Buccaneers. Big time matchup for the Colts. 93.5-107.5 The Fan.
It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's bullseyeeventgroup.com. Hey, Chevy, this Black Friday, nobody has a better deal than FanDuel. New customers get $50 in free bets when they sign up. For FanDuel Sportsbook, no deposit required. That's right. Sign up from November the 26th through November the 29th, and you'll receive $50 in site credit free. Now, you can do, for example, the Colts and the Buccaneers, which is on everybody's mind right now without a doubt, and you can do it with America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel Sportsbook. Use the promo code JMV to get $50 in free bets. Again, $50 in free bets using the promo code JMV with FanDuel Sportsbook. This is going to be spectacular. 21 plus and present. And Indiana site credit is now withdrawable and expires in 7 days after receipt. Offer is non-transferable. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Tired of living with awful joint pain? If you've been to an orthopedic surgeon, you know the drill. Pain meds, steroids, physical therapies, right? When those Band-Aids don't work, you know what's next. Here comes surgery, maybe even major surgery. This is Kevin Bowen, and I'm here to say you don't have to do this. Not until you check out QC Kinetics and get a second opinion. Learn more about natural biological treatments, regenerative alternatives that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, shoulders, back, and hips, other joints as well. QC Kinetics uses natural biologicals from your own body and concentrates them in the precise damage area for lasting relief. And it's an in-office treatment with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Don't go into the knife if you don't have to. Call QC Kinetics and get a second opinion now. You got nothing to lose. Call the local professionals at QC Kinetics. 463-235-7160. That's 463-235-7160. Non-surgical regenerative options are here. The medical professionals at QC Kinetics. 463-235-7160.
Don't let winter catch you off guard. Be prepared with Aaron's, the king of snow, a trusted name that won't let you down year after year. Aaron's snowblowers are handcrafted in the USA with powerful engines that won't bog down in any condition. Trust Aaron's to throw snow better and farther than any other snow throwers out there. Aaron's Snow Throwers offers all-day performance, world-class engineering, and a lineup of machines to fit every need. Throw back what old man winter dishes out with Aaron's, the king of snow. Visit your local independent Aaron's dealer today.
Winter is here, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's going to happen. Slush and sleet and all kind of nastiness. You need to get into the club, just like I am. The AAA Club. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. Lock your keys in your car. AAA's there 24/7, 365. You really want to change a flat on the side of the road with cars and trucks zooming by 70 miles per hour? I know I don't. I know I don't want my kids to. It isn't safe. It isn't convenient. People texting, distracted by something. Stay safe. And in the club with AAA 24/7, 365 days a year. Give the gift of a AAA Classic membership. Details at AAA.com. Do yourself a favor. Join AAA today. I joined AAA. They came out for a flat tire about a month ago. Fantastic. For a AAA membership, stop by an office. Visit AAA.com or go to 844-GO-AAA-GO. Don't forget to ask about travel planning and great insurance rate, auto, home, and life, because you don't have to be stuck on the side of the road to get assistance from AAA.
It's Terry Stacy for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains. Owner Chris Ambrose says second opinions are important.
We want to make sure that you are confident in the service that you're getting from whoever. The diagnostic that we give you may be different from the one that you got before. What we hope is it'll give you peace of mind that you're getting the right solution for your problem.
Get your free second opinion from B&W by going to BigBlackTrucks.com. Your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You've been lied to.
lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 800-503-2828 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 1-800-503-2828. 1-800-503-2828. That's 1-800-503-2828.
Denny Smith for Sundown Gardens. Holiday decorating and gift giving is in full swing. Sundown's gift shop is a winter wonderland. Comforting gifts or great items to put a smile on someone's face. Fill your home with the fragrance of a fresh-cut Christmas tree. Their lush evergreen wreaths and centerpieces and door charms are gorgeous. Plenty of accents to build stunning outdoor container arrangements. The nursery sale continues. Now all trees are 50% off and all shrubs are 30% off. 186th Street and Springville Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. The Goblet has dropped. Download it. Must be 21 and up.
Join us on The Fan and listen to Jason Hammer on You Bet with Bet Rivers, 7 to 8 p.m. on Thursdays, where you can get all the betting advice you would ever need. Hey, wake up. We're talking football. It's the Way Too Early pregame show on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
It is the Way Too Early pregame show. I am your host, Jimmy Cook. We are high above the circle in downtown Indianapolis in the DriveHubler.com studios. Give me a follow on Twitter at @TheJCook. Also, for Colts Insights, and he'll be at the game today, give Eddie Garrison a follow at @EddieGarrison_. It's time to shift things towards our trip around the National Football League, or as we also like to refer to it, it's time to take our usual trip.
National Football League.
There you go.
It's more important than life itself.
Amen. Amen to that. Before we take that trip, though, a reminder, right, to kick off a JMV at 9 a.m. after
The Fine Line with Joe Wiz Sports.
The Fine Line with Joe Wiz, immediately following us from 8 to 9, and then the ride to kick off with JMV. Resumes your Colts coverage. Then the pregame huddle at 10. Countdown to kickoff at noon. Colts Buccaneers at 1 o'clock. Matt Taylor, Rick Venturi, Lara Overton doing a wonderful job as always. And then we got Paces. We got Paces Bucks, 4:30. That's also here on The Fan?
Yes, sir.
Right here on The Fan. How about that? Loaded lineup. Stay with us.
It's a busy day.
All day long. Very, very busy day. Busy day for you as well. So we appreciate you, and you as Eddie Garrison this time, not you, the fans. But it's probably a busy day for you as well. It's got to be somewhat busy. Well, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not busy because you're taking time to listen to us. Either way, we appreciate you making us part of your day. Let's get started, Eddie. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. The Bungles are 3.5-point favorites. What do you think, Eddie?
I would take, what's the under total?
It's listed here as 44. I don't know what the latest number is, but at press time it was 44.
Press time being this morning. I would take the Bengals minus 3.5.
I agree. I agree with you there. Let's listen to one clip there from it. Let's go to the Steelers in Ben Roethlisberger saying that they're a better team now than they were in week 3.
We're getting better. I mean, they are too. I think everyone's evolving as the season goes. So, just because I think that we're better doesn't mean that all of a sudden the outcome could be different. You still got to go play, and hopefully, our young guys have all grown up, and the older guys getting a little better too.
They're better defensively. I don't know that they're that much better of a team. I don't. I mean, I guess the wins are there. The Browns are a nightmare. The Bears don't count. Seattle isn't even remotely close to what they were. And the Broncos are a team that's kind of hanging around the playoff picture, but they're not going to really do anything. They can surprise you. I'll give the Broncos win. The Broncos beat Dallas. So I'll give you that. Of those 4 wins, I'll give you one as I'm impressed with. The other one, you tied with the Lions.
Oh, boy.
And you gave away what should have been a win against the Chargers. In large part because your quarterback is, he should probably be an analyst somewhere or...
At that point, when you lose 41-37, you don't lose because of the quarterback.
That's fine. But then it can't be both then. Who let you down more, the defense or Big Ben?
Defense, 100%.
All right.
Your offense puts up 37 points, which was a season high.
Yeah. But again, he didn't... I need just mediocre from him. He looks... I don't know.
28, 44, 273, and 3 passing touchdowns? No turnovers?
I don't remember if every one of the... I just remember Big Ben for what he was, right? His ability to air it out. He does not have that anymore. That's not a question. When he does, it's underthrown by about 5 or 10 yards. And he's got some nice weapons offensively to kind of adjust the ball. But
Angel Gibson, I guess, is in your survivor pool, Jimmy. And the YouTube live chat. Is it too late to put in my
Angel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help you there. Dan's rules are very strict. Why is someone accusing me of drinking? I don't understand. What? It's 7:30. What are you talking about? This isn't an episode of Mad Men. Angel, I appreciate it, though. I appreciate you tuning in, but no, I cannot help you there. I would love to, but Dan's rules are you have to call in to Dan's show to get a pick in. You're welcome to email him, Dan at 1070 The Fan, or tweet him at Dan Dockich and ask him. But
you may have better luck with the Twitter right now.
Yeah, you might, but I can't. I cannot help there, regrettably. So we're in agreement on Steelers-Bengals. Patriots-Titans.
Woo, baby.
Pats favored by 7. I don't trust Tennessee right now, so I would lay the 7 there. I'm not going to play any audio from that. That's not worth anything to me.
Oh, okay.
Whoever put the audio together, though, they did a great job, and I'm not mad at them, but I'm mad at the people that gave the comments. Ryan Tannehill saying it's not easy to win in New England adds nothing for me. Sure. Just no way, really? Thanks for that, Ryan. Good God. I would lay the 7, I guess.
I'd play the under.
You like the unders, over-unders. I don't dabble in those as much, but you like those.
I like the under. I mean, it's a lower number.
I just mean it's a bet. I mean overall. You like over-under plays.
I mean, there's
nothing wrong with that. By the way, I'm not criticizing you. I'm making a statement.
To me, an over/under. I know we're getting into the thick of things when it comes to gambling, but I think an over/under is a much easier thing to achieve than a spread pick because Vegas is on top of it when it comes to spread, and I feel like there are some.
An avenue where you can find them.
Right.
The wrong, yeah, I get it. Having the wrong point totals or
right, and you can look at certain things if it's a lower total but a team's favored by 15 points, you can usually most of the time play the over because it's if a team's favored by 2 touchdowns or whatever the case may be, there's a strong sense that Vegas feels like they're going to score.
Jonathan Taylor over 80 yards is over under rushing today.
Oh.
I want it. I got to have it. It is one of my locks today. Over 80 for the boy. Takeaway be damned. I think he can still get there.
He may need 25 carries to get there.
That's fine. I think he can get 81 yards. I don't know what his anytime touchdown scoring odds are. That'd be something.
Probably like minus 170.
I respect your aggressiveness, but it wasn't enough. Minus 200.
Oh.
So I
was being generous.
You were. Anyway, John Taylor over 80 yards.
The one that I like out of the Colts game, I like Carson Wentz over 1.5 passing touchdowns because of the reasonings that we've discussed.
I shouldn't have given out. That's my fault.
It's okay.
I pulled the boat.
I might as well just give one. Well,
all right.
As
long as you have more, I'm fine with that.
Possibly, we'll see. I don't know yet. I like the Carson Wentz over 1.5. Prior to the last 2 weeks, he had hit it in 7 of 9 games, including 6 straight games. And I think, like we said, I think the way that you beat Tampa Bay is through the air. I think that run defense is legit, and it has been legit against every team, Dallas especially, and that's a good. I think that's a good barometer in terms of where to look at it in terms of comparison. Colts, Dallas, running back and offensive line skill sets. So that's why I kind of like the over 1.5 passing touchdowns for Carson Wentz today. Plus, it's minus 110. Good line there.
Yeah, there's good value there for sure. Rams at Packers. Rams favored by 1.5. Eddie. LaFleur. I just want to say LaFleur. We're not going to LaFleur right now. We're going to Rodgers. But Rodgers talking about how the Packers have never lost back-to-back games under LaFleur.
There's nothing specifically about certain things. Stats can be skewed to tell any type of story. I was reading, about our win-loss going into a bye over the last, 8 or 9 years or something. We have a really good record. Obviously, we've been really good at home over the years. So, you usually don't play a lot of back-to-backs on the road. Every now and then you do, but we've been good over the years at, not letting 1 week kind of trickle into the next. But they're a great opponent, and they're coming off a bye week. So, obviously, we've had some injuries and got some issues health-wise. But, we've been good at avoiding those back-to-back losses.
Eddie, I'm going to regret this. I know I am. I'll give you the Rams in 1.5 if you want it.
We'll discuss during the timeout.
All right. Because I am going to back the Packers. I don't think the Rams are all that. You can make the case Green Bay isn't either, but I want a bounce back performance from Green Bay today, and I think that you get that in Lambeau.
There's always that possibility, but always have to remember, Jimmy, the Rams are coming off a bye.
Yeah, but there's only one coach that I respect out of the bye. That's Big Red, baby. Andy Reid. I think I could be wrong on this. He used to be at one point in time, but if not the best, top 5 best winning percentage out of a bye or given 2 weeks to prepare is Andy Reid. So that's why I say that.
Yeah, I know he's really good after a bye. I don't know how many straight he's won.
It's not straight anymore, technically, because they lost to the Bucs last year in the Super Bowl. I don't know if you saw that. It's tough.
Well, that's I don't consider
that's not a traditional bye, I suppose.
Right.
But they did get 2 weeks to prepare.
Regular season bye.
Yeah, it's highly efficient. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that one. That should be a fun matchup. I will scoop the points. I think that the Packers take care of business today in a close one. Last game for you. The Brownies. Cleveland. At Baltimore. Ravens favored by 3.5. Baker Mayfield is probably one hit away from being carted off. The dude looks like he's laboring. I think Baker's a fun player. I like Baker. He's not in the same stratosphere as like Russell Wilson or Mahomes. Maybe a tier below that, but he's fun. I like Baker. but those injuries are tough. Now, he claims the last hit he took, his shoulder looked like I was surprised he got up. But he says the knee and the heel injuries are affecting him more than his shoulder.
Especially for me, kind of an unorthodox throwing motion when it comes to my lower body, just how violent it is. And your lower body is so important in your throwing motion regardless. So it's been definitely a different issue to overcome. The shoulder stuff's kind of the new normal. I'm not really worried about that anymore. Still try and protect it as much as I can. But, like I told you guys, there's plays to be made with my feet, and that's where I've been kind of frustrated with that.
Lay the 3.5. Lay the 3.5 on Baltimore. That is my thoughts there. Eddie, you have any thoughts on that game before we go to break?
I'm not touching that one because I
don't blame you for that.
Baltimore's one of those teams where they start super slow. They like to come back from double-digit deficits. Lamar Jackson, I don't know if he's going to have any ill effects from last week. He claims he's fully back. Is he? I don't know. And then you never know what you're going to get with Cleveland, in all honesty. Like, they had that game against Cincinnati where they just straight dominated Cincinnati. And then last week, they came out flat. Didn't really look great.
Fair. I understand why you'd stay away from that. Final break here on the Way Too Early pregame show. When we come back, we'll have predictions for Colts Bucks. We will also hand out our best bets for Week 12 in the National Football League. Stay with us. Final segment, Way Too Early pregame show, up next on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Sports Center updates on The Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Black Friday savings are here. Buy 3, get 1 free on Mesa Tires. Save $100 instantly on Cooper Tires and $140 instantly on Michelin Tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Football fans, who's ready to score some free bets? You can when you bet on any NFL game this week with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers who bet just $1 on either team to score can win $100 in free bets. When a team scores, you score. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get skin in the game with the new same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use code 1075FAN. Bet $1 on either team to score and win $100 in free bets. That's 1075FAN this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You got to be 21 or older. Indiana only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, 800-9-WITH-IT.
This is Sam Hyde with the Salvation Army. This Christmas, almost 6,000 children in central Indiana are depending on Angel Tree to put gifts under their Christmas tree. We need your help to make this happen, so we're making it easy to participate right from home. Angels can be adopted online by visiting salvationarmyindiana.org/angeltree. Choose your angel, buy your gifts, and return them to the Salvation Army by December 3rd. Learn more at salvationarmyindiana.org/angeltree.
Payless Liquors will help you give thanks this week with special hours and great deals on 175s of Jim Beam, just $26.99, Grey Goose, $39.99, and Johnny Walker Black, $59.99. Plus Benchmark pints are only $3.99. Great deals on wine, too, with Behringer White Zin, $2.99 a bottle, and Oyster Bay, $9.99 a bottle. And try Mom Water. The 4-packs are only $8.99. They're keto-friendly and carbonation-free with great flavor options at all 26 family-owned Payless Liquor stores and online at PaylessLiquors.com. Don't pay more, get more, and pay less at Payless Liquors.
Hey, it's Stan Dockich here with my wife, the lovely Lee Ross. Lee, we've had several jobs done at our house by the Michaelis Corporation. You've dealt with them way more than I did. You know I forget everything. Remind me, what was the scheduled work they did and how'd it go?
They were great to work with. Michaelis rebuilt a roof over our sunroom and a structure over our 2-story deck so we could sit outside on the lower level even when it's raining. The ladies at the office kept me informed every step of the way, and Michaelis did everything they said they would on schedule.
Here's what I know. It looks great, and you are happy. And when you are happy, I know it got done right, and oh, by the way, I'm happy.
Bill, Dave, James, Brandon, and the whole crew from Michaelis did a great job around the Dockich house.
Besides being great general contractors, Michaelis has experts in waterproofing, foundation repair, mold remediation, indoor air quality, emergency fire and flood restoration, and insurance restoration. Spelled Michaelis, pronounced Michaelis. Call 844-FIX-INDY or michaeliscorp.com.
This is my favorite time of the year. As a Shane Company jewelry consultant, I get to help customers find meaningful holiday gifts. The other day, a guy came in looking for a special gift for his wife. He wanted to carry on a family tradition. He said that when he was growing up, after all the kids opened their gifts, his dad handed his mom a Shane Company gift box. It was the grand finale of Christmas Day. To carry on the tradition, he picked out a gorgeous diamond bangle bracelet for his wife. With so many options in every price range, all guaranteed for life, we make it easy to find something spectacular. And because we don't work on commission, you'll always have a fun, no-pressure experience. Come in and tell us about your family traditions, or start a new one.
Visit our store or check out our online gift guide for memorable holiday gifts that'll be treasured for a lifetime. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
The Rock Holiday Tradition returns. Trans-Siberian Orchestra live in concert. 2 shows. December 22nd at 3 and 8 p.m. Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Millions have witnessed this electrifying concert experience. Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Christmas Eve and Other Stories live. December 22nd, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The story continues.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Listen to Kevin and Query 7 to 10 a.m. and call into the pop quiz for your chance at a Jiffy Lube prize pack. JMV is at Brothers downtown on Wednesday as he looks ahead to the Colts game and gives you a shot at Pacers versus Hawks tickets on Wednesday night. And live from Joe's Grill and Fishers next Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m., join JMV as he broadcasts for Larceny Locks and Lunazul Shots. Come listen to the Larceny Lock and enjoy some Lunazul Shots.
For more info, click on 1075thefan.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Owner Danny Reinhardt says putting his kids in charge of more of the day-to-day operations of the business was the plan all along.
It makes me really proud that I know that I can turn it over to my family and they can take care of things, and I've got all the confidence in the world in them. And that's the legacy I'm proud to leave.
A great family-owned business, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. 317-745-4526. Reinhardt's your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Join 93.5, 107.5 The Fan after the Pacers game Monday night for Inside IU Basketball with Coach Mike Woodson.
It's never too early for football.
Yeah. It's too early.
It's the Way Too Early pregame show on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Welcome back for the final time here on the Way Too Early pregame show. I'm your host, Jimmy Cook. Follow me on Twitter at @TheJCook. Eddie Garrison behind the ones and twos. Follow him on Twitter at @EddieGarrison_. Final thoughts before we get to our Colts Buccaneers picks. First, Eddie, any bets that you like today around the National Football League?
So I already gave out the Carson Wentz over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I like Mike Evans as an anytime touchdown scorer. I'm seeing that for plus odds. I think the Colts don't have a defensive back that can cover Mike Evans, especially when they get into the red zone. He has scored in 4 straight weeks, and he has scored in 5 of the last 6 weeks. I like Evans to score today for them. And that's about it for me right now. I think all the other stuff is a little too close for me to play one way or the other.
I respect that. I would scoop the points, like I said, with Green Bay against the Rams today. I like Devontae Adams to get in the end zone, even if Ramsey's going to shadow him all day. That is at minus 120 odds, I believe, right now, is Devontae Adams is an anytime touchdown scorer. Good God, Houston and the Jets play each other today. Wow. Man, I can't believe that wasn't on the matchups to watch for today.
You got Atlanta and Jacksonville.
Atlanta and Jacksonville as well.
Speaking of which, I'll take James Robinson as an anytime touchdown scorer in that one. That's minus 105. He has scored in 6 of the last 7 games that he's played in.
Eddie, you've got about a minute. Giving you some options for the beer bet. What do you think?
I will take the Rams, and I'll take the minus 1.5.
All right, so you're going to take the points.
2-game losing streak ends for the Rams, and the first 2-game losing streak for Green Bay under LaFleur happens this week.
All right, That's our beer bet, a season-long beer bet for myself and Eddie. I was really hoping you're going to take the Buccaneers over under 80.5 rushing yards for Jonathan Taylor. Reason being is because you mentioned about how they haven't given up more than 60 yet this year.
65,
excuse me. They've only faced one top-tier running back during that stretch, and that was Ezekiel Elliott in the opener. Who am I missing?
Kamara and Saquon Barkley.
Barkley is washed, and
we can get into that later.
And Kamara, I'm just kidding. I don't have anything against Saquon, but the Giants are a mess. And
what's your Colts prediction?
Kamara's more of a passing back than anything. Colts 28, Buccaneers 24.
I'll take Bucks 31-28.
All right, there you have it. We will have a fresh show for you next week. Colts, this is my last time picking if you let me down here. Fresh show next week, 6 to 8 a.m. But for now, enjoy the rest of our coverage as we get you set for Colts Buccaneers here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. The Goblet has dropped. Download it. Must be 21 and up.
Denny Smith for Sundown Gardens. Holiday decorating and gift giving is in full swing. Sundown's gift shop is a winter wonderland. Comforting gifts or great items to put a smile on someone's face. Fill your home with the fragrance of a fresh-cut Christmas tree. Their lush evergreen wreaths